This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about Shannon Sharpe capping. Is he really capping about the 49ers being better than the Eagles and believing Brock Purdy? And also, Jalen Hurts speaks on expectations. But let's get straight into it. All right, so before we get straight into it, I want to talk about this just a little bit. Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was ranked third by Zets as far as rookies coming in the draft and who has a chance of winning, the rookie of the year. So first they have B. John with the most votes. Second, they have Bryce Young. Third, they have Jalen Carter. And then the rest got votes. But I'm not mad at that because Jalen Carter is the only defensive rookie. And at the end of the day, offense sells. So of course, like the Jets gonna push offense. And B. John is a running back and he's under Arthur Smith's system. So more than likely he's probably gonna get it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Carter competes. So even though him being ranked third, him not being the most likable guy amongst the league, I think it's a pretty good ranking. Maybe it's a little disrespectful to have Bryce Young ahead of him, but Bryce Young was the first overall pick. So again, I'm not mad at the ranking. They actually do have high praise for Jalen Carter. Now, if you watch other like news outlets, a lot of people not even mentioning Jalen Carter. So that ranking I put up was somewhat fair. I'm not mad at that because I think Jalen Carter is definitely the best defensive player. I think it's going to be between him and B. John, who might win Rookie of the Year. But again, the NFL loves offense. More than likely they might give it to B. John. All right, so let's get into the topics. Is Shannon Sharpe capping? Stephen A. Smith and him. I've been actually enjoying First Take again the past 2 days. So they came up with their team rankings or power rankings in the NFL. But let's listen to them talk about their power rankings in the NFL.
I'm with you on the Chiefs at 1.
Okay.
I got the Eagles at 3. I got the Niners at 2.
What?
I have the Bengals at 4. What we totally different on this one. I got a tie between the Bills and the Cowboys.
The Cowboys? The Cowboys?
Yeah. I think their defense is going to be top notch. Now, the Cowboys have no more excuses. Mike McCarthy is calling the plays because you can't put it on Kellen Moore. Remember, they put the blame on Kellen Moore when they almost got shut out in San Francisco. They blame Kellen Moore. There's no more blame deflecting. It's Dak. I believe they come here, the Giants, and they're gonna put the NFC on notice because when they come here, you and Molly both said the Giants are gonna make the playoffs. When they come here and thump the Giants, which they will thump the Giants, you're going to be on notice.
You got a thing with the Giants, but carry on, Steve.
Well, first of all, here's what I'm trying to say. I don't even understand how the Cowboys in that equation because Dak Prescott is a huge question mark. You don't even have him as a top 10 quarterback.
He better.
Okay.
I got David Jones.
Are the Giants on this list? Giants on this list? So that's irrelevant right now. That's number one. Number two, how are you going to put the 49ers ahead of the Eagles when the Eagles are the reigning defending NFC champions and all of their weapons and coaches?
Who's that quarterback?
To see them.
I'm looking outside. It ain't raining. It ain't last year ain't got nothing to do with it right now.
So what do you mean last year ain't got nothing to do with it right now?
I like Brock
Who's number
Purdy.
one? Excuse me. You like Brock Purdy. With Fletcher.
I usually try to not pause it, but he like Brock Purdy over Jalen Hurts. But I'm going to go ahead and let it play. Only a couple seconds left.
Cox and Graham and Carter and those boys coming at him. You sure about that?
Hey, you told me that both was going to be back at some
I think
point.
he's going to, of course.
And so
but I saw the Eagles knock
they-
out four. I saw the Eagles knock out 2 quarterbacks in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, both of them.
How about that?
Both of
How
their
about
quarter-
that?
both of their
They got to
quarterbacks.
stay there.
Wait,
Both of their
Shannon, give me yours one more time.
I got Chiefs, Niners, Eagles, Bengals, and I got Cowboys and Bills.
Yeah, Shannon capping. Shannon is capping. He's wrong on this one, man. He's super wrong. I love Shannon Sharpe, but he is wrong. He put the 49ers ahead of the Eagles because he liked Brock Purdy and he brought up Nick Bosa. Who had the better year between Hassan Reddick and Nick Bosa? Who had the better year between Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts? So going into the season, you believe the 49ers are better than the Eagles. You got to stop it. And like Stephen A. Smith said, and a lot of people just don't mention this. People act like they came into the game with no quarterback. Eagles knocked out 2 quarterbacks. We got to keep it real. A lot of people don't like to mention it because 2 guys got hurt. But Eagles knocked out 2 quarterbacks. We got to keep it real on that aspect. They couldn't keep up. Kyle Shanahan called a very bad bootleg that caused his quarterback to get hurt. That just is what it is. But for them to be ranked better than the Eagles and Shannon Sharpe eyes, I don't know about that one. I get it. These shows gotta come up with debates, but he used believing in Brock Purdy. That was a poor excuse. Poor excuse. Now, Brock Purdy is like a upgraded Cooper Rush. He's gonna play it safe. He's not gonna really turn the ball over. And they just rely on the defense to win games. But as you see with the Eagles, that's not going to happen. We still going to put up our points, and hell, our defensive line is going to come at you, and you better be extraordinary, or you better have a wet field. I'm just saying, you got to have a very wet field, or your quarterback better be extraordinary for our defensive line not to get there. So again, I have no idea what Shannon Sharpe is talking about. And right, he had the Tommy John elbow. So is even Brock Purdy fully healthy, or they rushing him back? We don't know. So we will see. Come on, Shannon. Come on. Everything else, I somewhat agree with him. I think Cowboys should be in that top 5 going into the season over the Jets, in my opinion. Everything else he was right about, but that 49ers and Eagles thing, it's a little ridiculous, man. That's a little ridiculous, bro. All right, so let's talk about my guy, Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts was on WIP. He spoke about the expectations of the Eagles and why, expectations. Let's listen to what Jalen Hurts had to say.
You individually got raised last year, and you superseded those. This year, we almost want you to duplicate what you did last year or exceed that. I'm wondering how you handle all of these different expectations each year as it seemingly is different. How are you able to handle that and still be the player that you are?
Yeah, I think, expectations and all those things, more opinions, they come. They come when you have success and when you're doing something right. And I think for me, I've been able to focus on my own expectations and my own standards and my own opinions about things, because those are the things that I've always focused on. Everybody has always had an opinion. Everybody has always had their thoughts, and I've never reported to those things, only my standards. And so that is what will continue to be. I think, we talk about the bar continuing to raise, or the whatever it is from the outside standpoint continuing to raise, because there's a surprise element there. And so I may surprise other people, but I'll never surprise myself.
Does the Super Bowl still sting you to this day, Jalen?
I'm over it. We got a game this week. That game, we got a game this week. I'm 1,000% focused on what's to come.
I love Jalen Hurts. I do. But that Super Bowl question, I think it's a little cap. I know he's going into the next game focused, but when I seen that screensaver, that's lost. That Super Bowl loss is motivating him. But he don't want, I guess, fans worrying like, yeah, that still motivates me and to get over it. In my opinion, I think it's a little cap there. But the expectations thing when he said, like, look, we set that standard because expectations come from basically success of the team. If your team suck going into the year, you 3-14, your expectations will be like 8 wins. But because Jalen Hurts only lost 1 game, 2 games, the Super Bowl and the Commanders, Now expectations going into this year is to win the Super Bowl. So they were successful to set those expectations. So he's saying something like that, and I totally agree. I totally agree. That means the team is doing something right for the expectations is like to win the Super Bowl. And again, I agree with Jalen Hurts there. And that should be the expectations for a successful team. And I can't wait to actually I can't just wait to some football. I can't wait till Sunday. Don't get me wrong. Tomorrow, we get our first game. I believe it's the Chiefs and the Lions. Can't wait to see that. We know the Chiefs dealing with their injuries, and I'm hearing Travis Kelce might not even play. So again, that's gonna be a good game. And then of course Sunday. I can't wait till Sunday. I'm gonna drop this one a little early for y'all. A little earlier than usual. I know it's usually 8 in the morning. You guys should see this about 7:30 ish because the Eagles practice early, and I'm gonna get that video out early, so everything's just starting early. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the reactions today? I guess I call it Reaction Wednesday about the reaction to what Shannon Sharpe said. Do you believe he is capping? And also, even with Jalen Carter, do you think Jalen Carter should be ranked as the best rookie coming out the draft, or should be Bijan at this moment? And lastly, Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts. But this is Eagle Al. I'm up.